All right, welcome everyone to week one, lesson three of the Store Manager Academy. I'm Stephen Farrell. I will be taking you through this lesson. Today, we're going to discuss one team, one store, one company. Now, this is going to be a short lesson because a lot of the principles that we're going to talk about are actually outlined in other lessons, but it's really important that you understand the basics of building one team, one store under one company. So I'm going to go through it pretty quickly here. Now, in many organizations, we have completely departmentalized our employees, right? We have built walls up. And now, generally speaking, this isn't a bad idea. But what happens in most cases is we start to build a culture of us versus them. This happens naturally if left unchecked. Please understand that I'm not telling you you can't have departments, okay? But what I am telling you is you need to break down the walls of communication and work to keep everyone focused on the big goals and how each team has a key role to play in the execution of your overall strategy and vision. So, how do we do this? Well, first, you need to identify if there are any communication barriers between departments or the management hierarchy. Once you have determined that there are some barriers, you need to develop a plan to bridge the communication gap. This can be done by clearly outlining your vision and strategy to your team and explain how vital it is that everyone works toward a common goal, bringing their own unique skills and part to play in the common goal. Then you must communicate your expectations and collaborate with each individual team. Really important note here is you've got to cross-train every associate in the store. Front counter should be trained in receiving and vice versa. Everyone should understand the work that goes into each position. If you're not applying this concept right now, you need to make sure you start the process and put a plan in place to do so. This will prevent the not my department, not my problem attitude. Does it sound familiar? Have you heard that before? You can change this culture, but you have to make sure everybody's trained in every department. They don't have to be an expert in every department, but they need to understand the work that goes on behind the scenes in every department. Along those same lines of breaking down in-store barriers, you need to break down the walls between what goes on in the corporate office versus what goes on in the store. I know you've heard this before, but it's very important that you apply this concept. Okay, too many times we find it's easy just to blame, pass the blame up the ladder in order to avoid looking bad in front of our team. It actually does the opposite. This is a very destructive behavior, and if it's embraced, it will cause you high turnover and lost sales. You've got to teach your team the importance of being part of the big picture and help them see the importance of embracing change, especially change from the corporate office. You have the responsibility to build this concept into your store culture and reinforce it daily. Think about this for a second. If you have this big rock, let's just say it's 1,000-pound rock, and you guys are trying to push it across, a 10-foot, you've got to push it across the street, okay? If you have one person pushing against you, another person pushing from the left, somebody pushing from the right, everybody in the back, is that rock going to move? Well, it might move, but it's not going to move in the right direction. You need everybody on the same page, working towards the same common goal. That's why we've got to break down the walls of communication. Again, we're going to expand this concept throughout the training, but I wanted to give you a basic outline. Thank you for listening in to lesson 3, one team, one store, one company. The next video, we're going to talk about recruiting best practices and how you can find your key players right now that are out there without going through hundreds of applications every single day. I've got some inside best practices and tips that are going to help you find those key players for your key positions. So I look forward to working with you on the next lesson. Thank you again for listening in to the Store Manager Academy, and I will see you soon.